and you saw the result, sickly, stunted corn. Now what I fear is that we are doing the same thing to ourselves. It used to be our great-grandparents knew that we needed to eat fruits and vegetables, be outside, get some sun, and to have pure water. We've forgotten that. We're eating a lot of junk food, we're eating very few fruits and vegetables, and we're like that corn in the trash heap field. We see our kids getting more ill, we see premature births happening, we see more mental health in our children. We need to look at why we are becoming so ill, so that our children will be healthier, so that moms have deliveries at full term. So with all of that, I'm going to wrap things up and give this back to Keith. I am very grateful for the ADA because that allowed me to continue working. It made a huge difference in my life, allowed me to continue being a contributing member of society. It's important we continue those accesses, but I think we also need to ask ourselves and have society ask, why are we having so many more autoimmune diseases? Why are we having so many premature births? Why are our children having so many issues with learning disabilities, behavior, and mood disorders? We need to address that so our future children will be healthy.
Thank you, Dr. Wolf. Now we have two more speakers. We have Hayse next, and then we're gonna Martha Yoke read the poem. Thank you.
Hello. I would humbly like to speak on behalf of persons with disabilities who came up with the idea 25 or 26 years ago to have an act that would improve civil rights for people with disabilities. These people work closely in the independent living movement and with ADAPT is a strong civil rights organization that does demonstrations and works with legislators to change laws. George Bush was the man who signed the law on July 25th, and he took credit for that a lot after it occurred. However, the credit really belongs to the disability community who fought so hard with the legislators to get some kind of a law that everyone could agree to. And there were drafts and drafts and drafts. And after the drafts, there were demonstrations and demonstrations and demonstrations, and they weren't just in Washington, they were all over the country. I'm proud to say I got to participate in some of those demonstrations to get lifts on buses while I was living in Chicago. I was also fortunate to travel to D.C. and speak with legislators about the importance of people with disabilities contributing to life of the whole community. And we could not contribute our gifts if we did not have access. I remember years ago, sitting in the hot sun in the rose garden, sweating. It was so hot that day. And standing as the leaders of our country, congressmen, and then disability rights leaders, and then our president walk out to sign the bill. There were so many people crying. It was incredible. And when it was over, people with disabilities were crossing aisles, hugging each other, and screaming hooray, because they could not believe what had finally been achieved. So thank you for listening.
I'd like to introduce Martha Yoke, which has dedicated a poem to today's event. Thank you.
I don't know about you, my friends with severe disabilities, but boy, I've had my struggles with God. And this is about that struggle. And it's about a resolution of positivism. I call it Mandela. I finished it last week. I spit you, God, and you spit me on your fiery rod of enmity. Think thou cure me, special meat for your imperious feast. Oh, bleat, oh God, you vanquish sheep. This wolf doth eye your fold and keep. And your wheel never break me to the grist mill again, despair, or yoke me. This wheel I turn, gyres all air.
Thank you, Father. Now we do have a representative from Dave Loveland office to say a few words about how he feels with ADA right now. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Virginia Coulter, and I'm with Congressman Dave Loebsack. The congressman could not be here today. He's actually in the southern part of Iowa, but he asked me if I would read this letter from him to all of you. Dear friends, I am very sorry I could not be with you in person today. You are all inspiring, and I am proud to represent such committed and caring individuals. In the past year, we have made some progress. I am a proud co-sponsor of the ADA Restoration Act of 2008. In recent years, the Supreme Court has slowly chipped away at the broad protections of the ADA and has created a new set of barriers for all Americans with disabilities. Under the cramped interpretation of the ADA by the courts, a broad range of people with physical and mental impairments have been held not to be disabled enough to gain the protections of the law. This was not what Congress had intended when it passed the ADA, and we restored our intent when the bill was signed into law last year. This was an important step, but it's certainly not our last one. I continue to work with my colleagues in the House on these important issues. I am especially focused on long-term care reform. I recently offered an amendment during the Education and Labor Committee health reform markup to strengthen both recruitment and training for the direct care workers. Direct care workers are personal and home health aides and nursing aides, and they are the frontline providers in this management of long